Hey everyone, good to have you back. More Age of Empires here. Still playing as the Chinese. Still enjoying it. The map is Hill and Dale. It's a pretty China-favored map. You're going to find a lot of macro-oriented civs on this map. But I'm up against a French opponent here. Mint Geoduck 4492. And French, we've seen the French opening change a bit. It'll often be 3-4 Royal Knights, and then they'll start mining stone and get a second town center, with the idea that really 2 town centers is all you need. As you age up, you'll get faster villager production as the French, and you can just kind of accelerate economically. And you'll just focus on getting food and gold, usually taking deer hunts off the map, slowly converting to a farm-based economy, but maybe using your knights to kill a boar and then gathering from the boar. Or you could get I think the guild hall as your castle age landmark and just set it to food. I don't see French players do that often, but that could be a cool idea. But basically you just stick to food and gold, and you can produce your unique units, the Arbaletrier and the French Royal Knight. You can get the crazy upgrades for the French Royal Knights that turn them into just powerhouses and run over your opponent. So we're seeing more later game, more like late game French. It was probably due to some of those RAM changes, to some of the town center changes. We're just seeing a little bit less Feudal Age French, bit more. I mean, there's the possibility that they go 2 town centers and then just stick to the Feudal Age. That is a possibility, but often I feel like once you get on 2 town centers, you want to get that age up really quickly so you can get that more rapid producing villagers. Because, man, let me tell you, having fast villager production as the Chinese is great. I love getting the Song Dynasty and just pumping villagers out. Someone left a comment on a video saying, hey, I don't think you really need to go to 3 town centers most of the time as Chinese. I have to agree. So far, it's been amazing just getting 2 town centers. Because once you get the Song Dynasty, you're basically on 2.7, 2.66. Like, it's so good. You have so much villager production. We've gone a pretty standard opener, but we are going a little more on wood, a little less on gold. We haven't even started getting stone. That's because we can see the aggression coming. It looks like we have our scout following his first Royal Knight. That's the best thing you can do. Your first scout should be dedicated to following that first Royal Knight. Second one, you should maybe park on the wood or the stone line just to pay attention to where they're allocating their villagers. So now, yeah, we've got our 2 hardened spearmen. We can scare them off. Scare off this Royal Knight with this spearman. And we're going to keep our scout just kind of patrolling. And this, I really liked what I did here. I parked some sheep underneath my town center, and whenever a Royal Knight charged one of my villagers to injure them, I took the injured villager and I put them near my town center. Because I don't care how good these Royal Knights are, that hand cannon emplacement on the town center or on the towers is so good. I love it as the Chinese. I probably talk about it way too much in the videos, but I just love those hand cannon slits. Okay, good brace there from the spearman. And there's another injured villager. Yep. Oh, he had 10 gold. Should have parked that. Should have dropped that off. But, yep, he's going to go off and gather safely. 3 Royal Knights, 2 wolves, 2 spearmen. Oh, injured spearman? This is a wild fight, but I am not going to win this. Well, at least the wolves helped out a little bit. Good, my scout is circling. That's what I like to see. We're still seeing, I mean, I can't see that progress bar, but yep, there's another Royal Knight. I keep seeing Royal Knights coming. I'll probably see it, yeah, right there. Oh, definitely when my scout was attacked. Oh, and I get vision of all of his royal knights. They're so injured. What the hell? It's great that he's saved them all, but I'm impressed we've done so much damage to them. It's those hand cannon slits and the spearmen. 1, 2. Oh, am I down to just 2 spearmen? No, I've got 2 over here as well. We're getting that stone. We need it. We're getting a lot of gold. Usually I only have 1 villager gathering gold, but it looks like I have 2. And, okay, I'm going for a lumber upgrade. That's an interesting choice here. Maybe I'm just foreseeing a need for lumber in the future, but let's think about where else we could have spent that gold. Could have put down a blacksmith. We've got enough wood to afford one. Man, this mill is really piling up on gold. This is a nice Imperial Academy. Got the mill and the lumber camp, but it looks like the mining camp was just out of range. Oh, okay, we're getting our second town center down. It looks like we were just low on stone, but we're still going to gather stone with these 3 villagers. I like that. Maybe we could have put the second town center right here with all these deer, but I think it's nice supervising mills because you really sometimes you just need a burst of food. So having a mill here for my villagers to gather up these deer would probably be a better option. What we really need here is a little bit of food so that we can put down our Barbican of the Sun and get our Song Dynasty going. There's that wood upgrade, so we're gathering wood a little faster. I like this outpost here, and because we continue to gather stone and we have a big excess of gold, I'm impressed with this gold amount. I don't know how we're ending up with all this extra gold. We can get, yep, the hand cannon slits. Love it. Love how it says arrow range. No. Cannon range. Gonna send some spearmen out on the map just to kind of sweep some resource areas and just kind of try to get visibility into his base. I do still have this scout parked here. He's a little injured. Need him to maybe swoop around. It's good that I've got him near the wood line. That's a good indication of whether my opponent's going to go for an archery range. And we actually spotted an archery range out front. So I wouldn't be surprised if he goes feudal aggression. So you can see we're actually putting down all these defensive structures. That's a free hand cannon slit on this Barbican of the Sun. That's going to be, we're going to put one on this outpost for sure, and we're walling up this section. Turns out it was the right move. Here he comes forward with knights and archers. Yeah, we're just engaging with his scout. We're going to retreat. We've got hand cannon slits firing at these units. These villagers need to run. Good. And I need to change the rally point for my town center because villagers are going to their death. Ouch. Oh, the hand cannon slits almost killed this royal knight. There it is. That's awesome. I don't think a normal arrow emplacement would have done that. Oh, so many villagers here. We need to run. Okay, that's another villager. That's 3 villagers lost so far. But look at this. He misrallies some royal knights, and we get on top of them. That's 1, 2... Maybe we'll get a third here. Ooh, archers engaging my spearmen. Very painful. Villagers. Oh, Imperial official, you need to run. These villagers need to get inside the Barbican. There's so many places for my villagers to run, so I really don't need to lose villagers here. Oh, gonna lose one there, I think. Yep. Need to retreat these. That's 4 villagers. 5. But the hand cannon slits are firing constantly. When his 6 villagers, ouch. But we're getting into, yeah, we're getting inside. We're being safe. This villager on the gold is already back to work. Hand cannon slits still working on him. Pow. Unfortunately, we did get down to stables since we saw that that archery range at the front of his base, but we've got a problem. We don't have any food. We're going to get our villagers back to work. We'll gather these sheep that we kind of saved for a rainy day. We'll gather them underneath our town center. And looks like we're spending our excess gold on some upgrades. We got the ranged armor, and now we're getting ranged damage. We don't actually even have ranged units right now, but we'll get it. I'm sure we'll make some archery ranges in the future. Almost lost a villager there. He should not be just sending these archers around unescorted. He needs royal knights with them. Because, yeah, these horsemen are going to get on top of them. They're pretty injured from the hand cannon slits. Look at that damage. Yep, there's the royal knights. Ooh, I would get chivalry if I were him. Those are some injured knights. That chivalry upgrade would help them regenerate. Looks like we had some excess wood, which we've dumped into a granary and some farms. I like the location of it. It's between the Barbican, this outpost, this town center, this outpost. It's a very safe spot. This is a more risky spot. Looks like we're taking this mill out front. Yeah, we want these berries. Yep, let's get that hand cannon slits in there. Here he comes forward with spearmen. Ooh, my horsemen are not going to enjoy that. Ouch. So the question here is all of this feudal aggression from my opponent paying off? He's getting pretty good engagements. Look at this. His archers are working on my spearmen. His royal knights are retreating when they need to. And I lost maybe 5-6 villagers. I did get a spearman into his base that actually killed maybe 1 or 2 villagers on his gold. That was pretty random. And this one's just attacking his wall. But we haven't suffered much economically. And while we have lost villagers, we have been maximizing the resources that we have available. Look at this. 13 villagers gathering from a deer hunt on a supervised mill. I mean, this is better than these 13 villagers. They're doing the work of like 15, 16 villagers. So the villager losses really wasn't that bad. And 2 town centers pumping villagers is scary. All I need to do is play a little defensive, put down the right structures, and we can hold out. The stone is really paying off. Heck, we could put down some stone walls if we really want to prevent some aggression. But really, I just want to spend it on hand cannon slits for these outposts. Okay, Ram, a little scary. He doesn't have any upgrades. All he's got is the melee upgrade that he gets for free from his blacksmith. Looks like we just got our ranged upgrades, and they're going to start to pay off. We have Jugnu already on the field. We abandon this position to instead build this palisade wall over here, and then we'll gather these berries. We haven't really had much vision of his base, unfortunately. We need to get scouts out there. We saw him gathering stone. We're sure he's on 2 town centers, and he's probably just gradually making his way to the castle age. We just made it, so we can actually produce some castle age units to hold off this aggression, which feels good. This isn't that big of an army, and castle age units can put this army down. You can see horsemen trying to engage on his archers. We've got crossbowmen now. The crossbowmen will actually do well against his knights. And we have palace guards as well, who are heavily armored. They move quickly. Yeah, look at him. Look at how tanky he is. He's not going down. Trading very well. And we're still getting shots from this town center. So we completely wipe his attack. So our castle age actually came at a pretty good time. You can see the lumber camp is being supervised. The granary is being supervised. I don't know about the supervision of this granary. I mean, these villagers are probably dropping off at the town center a lot as well. Yeah, you can see. Kind of a 50-50. It's like a coin flip which way they're going to go. Not the worst. Maybe if we put some... Nah, I'd rather he was supervising maybe these berries. Or, head down this way. We're finally getting out on the map. We're going to grab up these deer. And we're actually grabbing this large gold vein here. This looks like a great spot to hold. Look at all this gold and stone, we should secure this area. We're going to send a small force out because we're still pretty in the dark on what he's doing. We should hear an age up soon. Pretty amazing that we haven't heard it yet. If we look at his resources up here, it looks like he accidentally committed to gold. We may see a market buyout from him. He's probably going to put a market down and then just convert a bunch of this gold into food and then age up. Yeah, that was it right there. Look at that. And yep, there was the age up. Wow. Sending my units forward. Don't expect to get much out of this. We just want to see what army he comes forward with. Yeah, we're just grabbing his attention. I'm saying like, okay, hopefully there are villagers here. Nope. Now I see his army. More Royal Knights. We can't beat that. That's so many Royal Knights. So I'm going to split my units up and just say, all right, find what you can. We find the age up Royal Institute, not the Guild Hall. So the Royal Institute is going to give him cheap technologies that are unique to the French. That's usually upgrades for arbaletriers and Royal Knights. So he's really going to commit to the Royal Knight arbaletrier army. Though he has been mixing in barracks. I think he's worried that I might go lancers, some knights in the Castle Age, but we'll see. We're getting our siege engineering, putting the blacksmith back to work. We're going to use the siege engineering to put down a ram and try to put some aggression on his military structures here. And we got a lot of gold on this blacksmith. We should really get out. Yeah, okay, good. Let's get out the rest of our Imperial officials. Looks like we're supervising the barracks because we need that veterancy upgrade for our spearmen, and we need a lot of them. This is when I've realized that I have good resources, but I only have a barracks, a stables, and 2 archery ranges. I need to just turbo out some units, and the best way I'm going to do that is by using my Imperial officials. Should probably supervise this stables because having my own lancers would be really good. Okay, we got some units over here. Palace guards and archers. There's the siege engineering at work. We've got a ram. We've safely taken this deer. Gosh, we're almost done with it. That's good. Whenever you can successfully clear a resource off the map, that feels good. And we're safely gathering this gold. That's a lot of Royal Knights. Wow. Ouch. These archers are doing nothing. They're doing 6 damage. 4 of it is being blocked by the armor of the Royal Knights. So it's 2 damage against these 230 hit point Royal Knights. It'll take over 100 arrows from these archers to take these guys out. So I'm trying to use my archers to focus his spearmen instead. It's just not a good engagement. We don't have enough spearmen. We have them rallying to the front, and they don't even have good upgrades. Looks like we're starting to get some upgrades for them. Yeah, it's looking rough here. We've got some hand cannon slits here. That's looking good for taking on this army. I'm worried at this point. There is a lot sitting at my doorstep, but we do have these 2 outposts. One's going to have a spring-alt emplacement shortly. Another has a hand cannon slits. These villagers need to retreat. We've lost maybe 3-4 villagers at this point. But we've got villagers safely in these outposts, and they're at least shooting. The longer he fights here, the happier I am. This army can't do anything against my structures. Most of it is made up of archers. They can't do anything to buildings. So yeah, now he's coming forward with rams. Oof. That hand cannon slit is great. And there's the emplacement, or the spring-alt emplacement. Ouch. Oof, he's misrallied his units. Okay, now we got some upgrades. Got some melee armor. These archers are annoying. I need a nest of bees out here. Looks like I've got my clock tower working away. He's coming forward. He realized he needed rams, but that's just given me a chance to rally more units, and I put down all these barracks behind all of this aggression. I noticed that I needed more military production, and now I've got it. What can he do against mass spearmen and palace guards? Probably not much. Look at these archers struggle with my heavily armored units. All these spearmen have to back them up. Yeah, now his knights are dead. And now the nest of bees is getting in the mix. This thing is going to start to target his archers here. And that's the damage we're looking for. Yeah, he has to back away. And that's just buying me time. Buying me time to gather up this wood in the corner, to gather this boar over here. We've already got a castle down on this sacred site, so we're probably going to put a monastery down and secure the sacred site. Oh, more nest of bees shots. Incredible. That was like 3 archers right there. And now they're all so injured. He's always looking to try to engage my siege units with his royal knights, so I try to rally my units on top of my siege units. So that way when I need to send units forward, I can, and then I'll just rally units back to my siege units. We even have a trebuchet out. My opponent has built a lot of military production at the front of his base. Likely because he wants to put a castle down, a keep, like right here or right here, and that'll lower the production cost of units from all these structures. But unfortunately, by putting them so far forward, they're now targetable. I can go on them. So we're going to use our trebuchet, nest of bees, and all these units. We should probably put down a ram. Would love to see a ram from these ranged units here. But really, the trebuchet is doing great work. It's so hard to get cost effectiveness out of your siege units. You need to be careful with them. You need to be strategic. You need to use your other units to secure them. But this is when the nest of bees and this trebuchet are paying for themselves. They're knocking down buildings left and right. And this nest of bees dealt a lot of damage to those archers. Oof. Damn, that's 4 military structures so far. And the French hate to reconstruct those because it's just more wood that they have to spend. And that means committing more villagers to their wood lines, and they really just want to commit their villagers to food and gold so that they can produce more arbaletriers, more royal knights. And look, he's gotten the Royal Institute upgrades for his royal knights. Oh, that's painful. Look how fast they take down my nest of bees. Even with units parked on them. It's because they've gotten all these amazing upgrades. Plus 80 hit points from the royal bloodlines. They probably have the canted saddles, so their charge attack does even more damage. So we lost our nest of bees. We need more crossbowmen. More spearmen would be nice. Boy, this battering ram's doing good work too. Hopefully the trebuchets are still firing away. This one looks like it's got no orders. I only targeted these 5, thinking that was fairly ambitious. And look at that. He just uses this group of villagers to produce structures over here, and we're just going to target them one by one with this trebuchet. Would love to get this other one involved as well. Behind all of this, perhaps the smartest decision I made this game, put down stone walls that completely block out my opponent. I'll probably put some stone walls down around the front, but we've got palisades over here. It's so annoying to play against the French and have them send like 7, 8 royal knights into your base in the late game. They just charge through and slaughter all your villagers on these farms. Oh, look at this farm setup. I'm loving it. That is a lot of farms, granaries sprinkled throughout. Looking really good. We're still supervising this granary. Oh well. We'll need to pivot our villagers. Yep. We got to start gathering wood down here. Up front, looking good. We've torn down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, hopefully 9 of his military production. That's 9 times, well, really it's like 7 times 150 plus another 300 for each of these siege workshops. So we've wiped out easily over 1,000 wood worth of buildings. So these trebuchets have paid for themselves. Oh, yep, he's trying to get on top of my siege, but if we just keep units rallied on top, maybe send the occasional villager out to repair these siege units, we're looking good. As for the religious game, yep, we've grabbed this sacred site. We should start grabbing these relics. In terms of upgrades, let's check out one of his units. These archers, they got some 1-1 upgrades. That's about it. We are on, almost 2-2 for everything. We're getting more military production. Nice. More archery ranges. We're taking more resources off the map. Okay, good. Yeah, there's the monks going off to work. We should secure this sacred site for sure. Looks like the stone walls up front are being finished. Once this finishes right here, we'll be completely walled in. And we won't have to worry about Royal Knights just destroying our economy on the back end. Opponent putting down a keep. Not too worried. Ooh, units are fighting villagers out here. Yeah, look at all these dead villagers. We've already killed a few here. This is even more. We've probably killed a dozen villagers over here. That can really spell GG. Now, the French love these keeps because not only, are they keeps, they're just really good defensive structures. But yeah, they're making all the units from these military structures cheaper. So he can produce an army on the fly pretty cheap. Honestly, after these villager kills here, I was feeling pretty confident. And I decide, okay, we're sieging down his keep. I don't think he's got the units to really stop me from doing this. And we're starting to take all these sacred sites. I'm sure I've got this game in the bag. So I just keep rallying units, but I'm mostly microing my monks, trying to get these relics secured, trying to grab these sacred sites, put keeps down on the map. And little do I know it, with this just clump of military structures, he is producing a huge army all of a sudden. Look at how many Royal Knights that is. They're all healing themselves up. They've got insane upgrades, and they're sitting at 310 health apiece. Oh, these villagers are getting annihilated. He comes forward with his knights, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, we got this. We can take on all these Royal Knights. I'm sure I've got enough spearmen in here, enough crossbowmen. But really, my unit composition is not able to deal with this. Oh, the new age begins. We make it to the Imperial Age with the Spirit Way, and one of my Zhugnu dies, and it heals all of my units and makes them attack faster. Good timing there. I'm like, oh, I'm rallying spearmen forward. I'm sure they'll deal with all these Royal Knights. Like, look how much damage they're dealing. But before I know it, I've lost my army. I'm worried that having gone the Imperial Age, I've left myself open to a counterattack. Definitely going to lose the trebuchet, and now I'm thinking about rallying units a little further back. This is looking like he can come forward and put pressure. Losing my siege units. Yeah, we need to back up. Got a good amount here. Looks like we left behind, yep, some more units here. I've parked these knights out here. We want to make sure he doesn't get back to gathering these resources. We're grabbing the relic up here. Looks like I was checking to see if there's any villagers around. Maybe I could convert them. A little dangerous to do with a monk. Should really send a scout up that way. Trying to duke it out with his army here. But it's so many units. Gonna lose my trebuchet. But fortunately, he runs into my stone walls. He just cannot come forward now that I got all these stone walls up. So he can dance back and forth, but I'm just gonna start producing more and more units. You're about to see me spend a lot of resources. We're up to 114 villagers. Could probably get up to maybe 130 and be happy. Looks like we're getting some veterancy upgrades. Blacksmith, yeah, we've got all our 2-2 upgrades. We're finally getting some advanced siege units out. The clock tower bombard. Looks like we've added in more siege workshops over here. Took my knights through this little gap in his wall, found a few villager kills. Sending these knights out, hoping they can find some villagers gathering out here. He has to be done with his wood here, so he has to be gathering from this wood. So I sent my knights that way, but we find him on the gold vein. He's almost finished it, but look at all these villagers. So then I watch here, using my outpost and my keep, see his knights heading that way, and I decide, oh, this is perfect. Now the rest of his army that's rallied here, we can crush. And he runs his knights right past my keep. Not a good idea. Sure, he can kill these knights. They've already done their damage, though. And now we're going to swoop in on all of his units here. And the clock tower nest of bees. Oh, big AoE damage on all these archers. It's an exciting game. Opponent taps out there. Like going up against the French. Feel like it's a matchup I understand. And I think I just held really well defensively this game. I'm not even sure I countered him all that great, but man, we held great against his feudal aggression. Catch you for the next one.